Good day guys, my name is Lord Tomo. Welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy collector review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo with the Bruce here. I've got Sonic the Hedgehog and I'm wearing a tank shirt because it's getting hot here in Australia and it's yet to be summer. Let's put them aside and bring out the actual item of question because it actually suits the motif of the weather that I'm currently going through as of late. So this is a it's called many things, but this is what I'm going to call the Sonic the Hedgehog Summer Watermelon Plush by Joypolis, or from Joypolis. Now, for those who've been keeping tabs on my channel or just don't know the ins and outs of plushes and all that sort of stuff, essentially Joypolis is just literally a Sega orientated theme park in Japan only. For those who may or may not know, there were other Sega-ish theme parks around the world, and they were more predominantly called Sega World. Now this one in Japan is called Joypolis. Essentially a lot of our Sega's IPs like Sonic predominantly and various other ones have like a massive kind of centralized aspect to that actual theme park and all those sort of things. So you can definitely check it out on Wikipedia and all that sort of stuff if you ever want to. But this one predominantly is just one of the prizes you could win or you could buy. I'm pretty sure it's either or in that theme park. There were copious amount of plushes of this nature. You can check out the other reviews that I've done. We'll be doing more, but essentially, yeah, these are some of the plushes you could actually win. Now, for those who've been keeping tabs, I have said a few times actually that I wasn't collecting plushes of Sonic because I don't know, it's just something that for whatever odd reason wasn't something that was grabbing me. But of late, a lot of stuff are coming out, predominantly plush related and also various news such as Sonic Boom's plushes, and I figured, you know, I might as well start picking up on it simply because the quality has superseded the ones that I initially thought in the past. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm starting to more or less collect and just give you the thing. Now generally, for the most part, they use a standard Sonic the Hedgehog mold in terms of all the Joypolis plushes, but they spice it up a bit by giving us various different things just to make it a little different. Now you can check out the other ones. You can tell the other ones that I've done pardon me, you can check out those ones. You can see the differences yourself. I will just more or less focus on this one and go from there. So this is essentially the plushie's head here. You have already the well stitched ears, which is awesome. Now I just want to say straight out off the bat, and for those who may or may not know, the quality that these guys do for these plushies in particular is absolutely phenomenal. There's actually next to no issues that I could see personally from these range. So if you're one of those people who just want to collect plushies, or if you're one of those people who just love Sonic plushies and all that sort of stuff, I highly recommend. It's a little pricey, I would imagine, and I would understand. I'll tell you how much this costs, but I would highly recommend you guys pick up the Sonic the Hedgehog from the Joypolis series. I'm going to call it the Joypolis series. That's essentially where they come from, so it makes sense to call it that, simply because the overall design, stitching, and just the the attention to detail is just absolutely superb and phenomenal. And of course I would highlight that clearly. So essentially these are ears, which is great. They have like inner stitching as well, so it's not just one material, it's just an ear and the ear canal, or the ear holes, whatever you want to call it. You can see various stitchings on the very top, and I don't know if you're the sort of person that gets, you know, bothered by that, but I personally don't, simply because it gives it the overall depth that's needed for this actual head. And whereby, for example, if I can bring him out, here we go. See this Sonic over here, the ones that I always have on my reviews, they literally just use materials to emphasize the spikes, which isn't bad. I'm just not a massive fan of it, but this one you can tell the actual spikes are depth up. They're full of, I don't know what's inside of cotton, maybe, I'm guessing it's cotton, something thick. Yeah, I'm going to assume cotton, correct me if I'm wrong of course, and it gives it the overall depth and dynamics, and it's not 100% symmetrical, which in a way works to its favor because of course, you know, which Hedgehog or Sonic characters' quills are symmetrically done. Of course, you know, if you're going to complain about the drawings and all that sort of stuff, but that's besides the point. So you can tell that they've actually gone out of the way to stitch every single quill, which I think is phenomenal. The only drawback, which I can understand why they've done it, is you don't have any quills at the back of his body, which makes sense because it's a shirt. Doesn't really make a difference if you see it or not. So that's his overall cool design, which I think is phenomenal. So I'm just gonna show you, so you can see even the extrusion that comes out from the top of the head, which I think is awesome. He's superb. Now his eyes is his eyes is also awesome. It's unlike most other plushies that I've seen. They're like sometimes sticked on, but this one is actually stitched on. This is probably the best angle I can get. So his iris, is that what it's called, iris? His whole eye is all stitched on, so the green bit, the black bit, and the white bit, which is awesome. With most plushies as well, for whatever reason, they tend not to, not from the Joypolis series, comparing to other manufacturers like Kelton and all that sort of stuff, the nose don't tend to be as pluffed up as normal. This one, they really got out of the way to put the added coffin just to give it that extra perkiness, which is awesome. And you have his smile. Now of course this doesn't take away from the plushie itself, it's just a small little nitpick. I would have preferred to have a black mouth, but this has a brown mouth, just to coincide with, you know, the animation and all that sort of stuff. But hey, it's brown, I have no issue, it still does its job, it's still superb. It's just a nitpick. It doesn't take anything away from the overall plushie itself. At the actual back, before we go further down, you have of course his tail, which is there, added a little amount of cotton, which gives it that extra, you know, depth to him. And overall, you can tell from his actual Hawaiian shirt, that's what I'm going to call it, you have various leaves and turtle designs and other sort of stuff, just to give it the whole summer-esque sort of feel to it. And I do like the fact that it has a vibrant yellow and orange, dark orange juxtapositions in terms of coloring effect. It really pumps it out. Around his neck, he gets this little leaf-like, star-like, I don't even know, it's what are they called, Hawaiian necklace thingy. I'm sure there's the correct terminology for it. I'm probably going to be caught out for that in the comments below, but it's got like that Hawaiian-esque sort of, you know, thing that you get in Hawaii, I would imagine. Hawaii, what are they called? Hawaii necklaces. You get what I'm saying. I hope you guys know. And of course, I know I'm not talking about the elephant in the room here, but this is the watermelon. That's why it's called the summer watermelon plush, which I think is actually great. So, you know, for the basics, this one, everything else is very material-ish, like, I don't even know what it's called, but this cotton has this different acrylic sort of feel to it. It's more hard, it's more of a thicker material, which I don't know what it's, that's the best way I can describe, because I really don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's a correct terminology for it, but I'm not one of those people who know. But this is the melon. The only drawback to this, and like I said, it doesn't take away from the plushie itself, it's just a small nitpick, is it's connected to his fingers via stitching, which I can understand because, you know, you don't want it to rip off. And of course you also have it's stitched to his stomach as well, his belly. So in theory, if you really wanted to, you could actually cut it off or unstitch it and make him just have it on his side if you wanted to. I'm not going to do it with my plush because it works well by itself, and it works well with my Halloween one. For those who haven't checked it out, it's in my previous video. At the actual bottom itself, you have your socks, which I think is phenomenal. Most socks don't tend to be stitched at the very bottom. Used to be flimsy, which isn't bad, it's just a nitpick of mine, but this is great, superb. And courteous to the thing, you also have GP, which is Joypolis, which is standard. I know one of these plushies that come from Joypolis don't have this symbol, so I think this is a new addition to the plushie itself. You have his belt buckle and everything. Now, unlike some other plushies that I've reviewed, they tend to have like a cardboard piece at the very bottom, kind of solidify the actual shoe itself. In this one, it doesn't. It's just purely just cotton based, and it's all, you know, you can mess around with it, which isn't bad. Now, the one thing I've always criticized about other plushies in general, but this one is superb, is the lack of pardon me, the lack of, you know, thought process when putting the tag on. Every single Joypolis ones that I've ever come with, the tag is actually connected to the actual tag itself, like the little, you know, icon is, there you go, you can actually see it yourself, Sonic the Hedgehog Joypolis. Now, by that I mean, they normally put this on the ear, the arm, or something, or someplace obscure. Now, for somebody like myself who just purely just wants to have it on display and not play around with it, that bugs me. I'm sure most other collectors in general, even not a Sonic, just in general, I like that. Me in particular, I like it when they put it into the tag, because It's not intrusive. You can keep it as mint condition as you want it, and it's just, you can hide it if you so desire, and it's there. So that's always a plus. This is one of my major pluses when it comes to reviewing plushies or just collecting them. It's a pet peeve. That's what it is. It's a stupid pet peeve, but it's a pet peeve nonetheless. But that's that, which is not bad. Unlike some other plushies itself, I haven't checked them all just yet. The actual picture itself reflects the content of the plushie itself. I know, for example, the Halloween one that I did 2 weeks ago ish. I'm gonna update my reviews or something like that. They have kind of like a Halloween-esque sort of feel. This one is just your standard generic picture there, which isn't bad. It just does its service, but that is what it is. Overall, this plushie is superb. I'm not gonna. You can have it on display like that. You can have him sitting down. I'm gonna have my one sitting down because it's adorable and it works like that. And I can have mates who just want to look at it and just pick it up and just, you know, look at it. That's what I have it, you know. A lot of the stuff that I have on display, not the super hardcore race stuff, but a lot of the majority is for people just to come in, mess around with it and put it back, you know, where they put it, you know, because what's the point of having a collection if it's just purely a display purpose and that sort of stuff. But this plushie overall is absolutely superb. Now, where is it found? Only in Joypolis in Japan. If you ever decide to go there, you will find on eBay every now and then, which I highly recommend you guys check out. Maybe type in Sonic the Hedgehog Plush or Sonic the Hedgehog Joypolis or anything like that, or try Amazon Japan, for example, and all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely worth it. How much are these? Look, they are pricey. I'm not gonna, you know, beat around the bush. I got these, every single plush that I got from the Joypolis range, I got roughly about $100. This one was about 110. Plus I got other various things. Pricey, I understand. It's not for everybody. I can sympathize in those sort of situation. But for the overall quality, stitching, and just overall, you know, adorableness of the design, I recommend you guys pick it up if you're into that sort of stuff. You know, just it goes out of the way to even have the bonding effect. But look, it's to each their own. Rarity, I'm probably going to give this maybe 6-7 stars out of 10, simply because I don't know too much about the plush range in terms of rarity and all that. I give it that much because these plushies circulate, as far as I'm aware, they circulate within the actual theme park. So you may not get this one in particular next summer. It might be a new summer one, and there might be a new Christmas one, etc, etc, etc. So you can understand as things become cycled out of, you know, theme parks and all that sort of stuff, or merchandise, the rarity becomes higher. So maybe 6 stars out of 10, 7 stars out of 10, thereabouts. I could be, you know, pumping it up too high, but I feel that's self-deserving. But yeah, you're looking about $110. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Let me know if you have it. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. If not, you know, just let me know your thoughts on what this plush is. I think it's quite adorable. It serves its purpose, and it's not often you see Sonic in various themes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Speed on and take care, guys. Peace.